What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, Canelo Alvarez he was being interviewed and he was being asked about fighting Triple G. Uh, the fight coming up, how he feels about the fight with Triple G. And in that same um, session, rather, in a separate video, he was asked about fighting um, Dimitri Bivol again. Well, he basically said, first off, that his countryman, Zurdo Ramirez, he feels like he has a chance and that he hopes that he beat him. He's cheering for him to win. Then he says that if Bivol actually loses, then he won't fight Bivol. But if Bivol wins, then he'll fight Bivol. And, I responded in my video simply by saying directly to, like, my direct quote to Canelo is question would be, is even if Ramirez, you know, um, did beat him, what does that have to do with you? Bivol beat you and beat you soundly, okay, and made it look easy. So what does that have to do with you if Bivol was to lose to Ramirez, you know? And also, like I said, it's funny to me because it's like it's not a big deal if he fights Ramirez or not. I mean, or Bivol or not, and it shows you by simply him saying he's rooting for Ramirez to win. And he says that he won't fight Bivol if Ramirez wins. So he doesn't want that fight. He really doesn't want it. He has to fight someone. And I guess it's like, well, you know what? If we do it again, of course he's going to want it at 168, which basically Bivol already said he'd do it at 168. And the funny thing is, look at how fast this fight materialized for Bivol and Ramirez. Look at how fast this fight was put together. They already had the press conference and everything between these two. And you know what? May I add, Ramirez is taller and bigger. You can see the thickness in his body compared to, Bivol, and he's taller in height. And you know what you're not going to hear me say? If he was to lose, oh, Bivol's too small to be a light heavyweight. He should have went down and fought Ramirez at 168 to make it fair. No. You're not going to hear me say that. Or I'm not going to say, oh, why don't Ramirez fight a cruiserweight? He's picking on somebody smaller than him. No excuses. You signed the fight. You accepted it. You thought you could win. And then you found out that you couldn't. Okay. Now, as far as him saying, he was asked about fighting Ramirez. And he says, no, he don't want to fight another Mexican fighter. He said this in the past, and he's bringing it up again. And pretty much, him being Mexican, he don't want to fight another Mexican fighter, right? And like I said, well, if that's the case, we shouldn't be trying to encourage Errol Spence to fight Terrence Crawford because they're two black men, and two black men shouldn't fight each other. Simple, right? Helenius should have never fought Kalinowski because they're two white guys. Huh? We can't get two Puerto Rican fighters to fight each other. No. Dito Donaire shouldn't fight another Philippine fighter. So if we all play that game, what would boxing become? Points that I brought out and made up, in the last video. I'm not into that, and I'm not big on that. Now, coming from another Mexican, let's let you hear what Zurdo Ramirez had to say when he was asked that same question.
How you doing, Zurdo?
Good, and yourself?
Good. So I just wanted to start by asking you about something. I was talking to Canelo this week at his workout in San Diego, and he says if you beat Bivol, he will not fight you because he doesn't want to fight a countryman. He doesn't want to fight another Mexican. What did you make of those comments?
Well, as a fighter, I want to fight with the best anyone, and in the ring, and two Mexican in the ring guarantees a war, and I don't know why he don't want to fight any Mexican. But who knows?
You're American citizen, right?
Yes, I'm American citizen. Well, I'm resident. I will get my citizen in September.
Oh, congratulations!
And let me add, he's saying that not to be sarcastic, but to say, hey, okay, well, I'm actually an American citizen come September. Huh? Does that change anything? I mean, isn't uh um Benavidez mixed? He wasn't born in Mexico, right? So okay, what's all this like this man? Let's let this guy finish, and I'm gonna.
Wondering too, since Eric, you're in the picture too, is that is this about not fighting another Mexican or not fighting a fighter from Golden Boy?
I don't know. I mean, you would have to ask him. I mean, look, Zurdo's clear since we started working with him. Him and his team, his manager David, they want the best fights. We're happy we were able to get him this fight. And we want to thank Gilberto Mendoza from WBA keeping his word as the mandatory. But look, that's what he wants, to be great. You want to fight the best. Canelo's a great champion. He's earned the right to be able to pick and choose who he wants to fight. If he doesn't want to fight him, then we'll move on. But, I mean, he wants to fight the best.
Yeah. Zurdo, as you look at this fight against Bivol...
Now, that's enough. We don't even need to hear anymore. Because that's where it stops, and he starts to ask him about Bivol and move on from that. Okay, let me say this. If Canelo was on his way out, okay, he's up in age, like, okay, and he knows, like, okay, I only have 2 or 3 more fight obligations I want to fulfill, then I'm out of here, something like that. I can understand that. But for you to say, I want to be considered the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, so nobody in Mexico fights each other? So when they put fights on in Mexico, where are these fighters all coming from? All different countries other than Mexico? You understand? And for you to say that, then guess what? When you fight against another Mexican guy, you're giving them an opportunity to make a lot of money. You understand? And you're giving them an opportunity to fight you. And if they win, guess what? It's a big feather under their cap. So at the end of the day, I'm never going to support this whole. First off, that's just some racist shit. Let's be real. Here's the reality. I would not want to fight my brother, my cousin, my friends, people that I love, because again, I don't do the hold back thing. You holding back and get you hurt. And for me, I got too much of a fucking temper for that. I'm a competitor. I'm ready to fucking rock. Like, let's go. All right. Why don't I want to fight somebody I love? I don't want to be responsible for them getting brain damage, breaking orbital bones, ribs, damaging their kidneys or liver. I don't want to do that. Now, overall, you hope that no matter how bad you beat a person, that they're okay, because you're going to take something out of a person when you beat them bad enough, and especially fight after fight in all the training camps. They're not going to be the same. I don't want to be. Imagine my brother sitting around shaking with Parkinson's because something I did to him. Somebody who I don't know, I really care a lot less. Because this is a business that we go in. That's not what I want to do to you overall. But see, really, when you're training, you thinking about destroying this fucking person with every fiber in your body. You want to beat this person senseless. You're not going there holding back. This is the hurt business. This is, okay, what it is. So therefore, it's like, no. I'm coming in to win a fight, but I'm going to do as much damage and inflict as much pain on you as possible, because that's what we come in the ring to do as competitors. That's why I wouldn't want to fight somebody I love and care for. But just to say, I don't want to fight another black American, motherfucker. I don't know every black American. I don't like every black American I know. Just because we the same nationality, so fucking what? It's fighting. What kind of soft punk shit are we on now? That's some racist shit. Because if I said that, I'd be saying I don't want to harm and do any physical harm to black people, but I don't mind knocking the shit out of a white guy. I don't mind beating up a fucking Puerto Rican. I don't mind beating a motherfucking a Mexican or Indian up. I don't give a fuck about smacking somebody around from the UK. But when it comes to my black people, no, I don't want to fight them. That's not some racist shit, because that's pretty much what that comes down to. And to me, it's just an excuse too to avoid, because like he said, you get 2 top Mexican fighters, you're going to get fireworks, right? You're going to get it okay. And for you to be considered the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, don't you think you got to beat the greatest Mexican as well? Not just say, oh, I fought this guy and this guy, because as I've stated, there's other guys who you don't want to fight. Now, you can't fucking turn around, okay, and look at a 38-year-old Floyd Mayweather, whose last fight was against Andre Berto, and talk shit, because Floyd knew how many fights he had left on his contract, and he knew what he wanted to do. So if you're going to say, oh, he's earned the right to fight, pick and choose who he wants, well, he had that just with the fucking franchise championship. So, no. How the fuck do you criticize somebody else for doing that shit, but then you turn around and you applaud somebody for cherry picking? So if you're going to say, okay, I don't want to fight him, I don't give a fuck why. I don't care if you don't want to fight Zurdo because you hate his eyebrows. I don't care if you don't want to fight David Benavidez because, you know, you don't like his fucking cologne. I don't like the way he smelled. It's still a fucking a duck. And if you're going to say, I'm not going to fight this guy, then you damn well need to fight somebody that's just as good. Because if you fucking walk away from a fight saying, well, I can't fight him, he's Mexican, not Mexican, then you take some bullshit cherry pick, then I don't even understand how the fuck the so-called fight fans are okay with that. But we know you casuals think that you're real fight fans. And you're not fight fans. You're fighter fans. And that's why you get your panties all up in your ass crack when somebody speaks the truth. If Jamar Charlo or any, Errol Spence, any of these guys were saying that same shit, I'd be saying the same thing about them. I don't do the favoritism thing. And if you hate realness, it's just because you fake. How the fuck can you argue with, yo, you need to be fighting the best fucking fighters, man? So you've earned the right to pick and choose. This is what this motherfucker just said. Now, if he doesn't want to fight Zurdo, Zurdo shouldn't hang his head and stress about, fuck it, move on. There's other fights. Canelo's not the only fucking fighter in boxing. Face of boxing, you want to call him or whatever. I don't care. He's not the only fucking top fighter out there. So, just saying. But to support that shit and say he's earned the right to pick and choose? Since when the fuck have you heard them say that about any other fighter? That he's earned the right to pick and choose? That's like I said, when you on your way out. Not when you motherfucking 32, 33, saying I still got a lot of years left in boxing and you plan on being here, but it's certain fighters you're not going to fight. And you heard what Zurdo said. I don't know why he doesn't want to fight. You want to fight. You want to be the best. You want to fight all the best. I agree. Salute to Zurdo Ramirez, because that is my point. And now you're hearing it from another Mexican. You heard it from David Benavidez when he said it before. Like, man, look, stop making excuses, man. They want that smoke. And again, you helping another countryman to make some big money. Because who else they going to fight to get that kind of money that they're going to make fighting you? So I just thought it was interesting, man, because somebody says something and not worried about backlash, where other people sitting in the, well, let's tread nicely, let's walk on eggshells. We don't want to get people riled. I don't give a fuck who I rile up. I can get riled up too, so big deal. So at the end of the day, this is crazy. Like, this is just crazy. If I would have heard motherfucking Holyfield say he hoped Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, I'd have been like, Holyfield, you a bitch. Why the fuck would you want Tyson to lose to Douglas? Because you know if that happens, then the fight with you and him is ruined. Why would you want him to lose? No, you want Tyson to win because that's your big fight. That's your Joe Frazier. You understand what I'm saying? That's the guy that you want to make your mark against. And we saw what happened. And Holyfield went right after Buster Douglas. And we know that Tyson wound up, going to prison. So the Holyfield fight didn't happen until later on. And people made all types of excuses about that. Oh, he waited for Mike to get old. Holyfield didn't wait for shit. Mike Tyson's the one who went to fucking prison. And then when he came back, yeah, they fought. I think Mike had two fights before he, and I think Holyfield was his third fight back, or however it was. But you know, and for, you know, he's 4 fucking years older than Mike Tyson, but he waited for Mike to get old. Same stupid excuse they used about Pacquiao and Floyd. Floyd waited for him to get it. Floyd ain't wait for shit. And before Floyd went to prison, they sent him a contract. They made him an offer. They made him an offer. Remember, they told him, I'll wire you, I think he said 15 or 20 million right now. He didn't want to take the random blood urine testing. He didn't want to do it. Floyd did his year and he came back. And they fought later. And the fight was worth way more then than it would have been. But at the end of the day, it's like all these excuses, and how the fuck somebody gonna sit up here and say, I don't want to fight somebody? Okay, then if that's the case, we shouldn't want to fucking see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury should have never put his fucking hands on Dylan White because they're countrymen. What the fuck is wrong with you people, man? Like, y'all sitting up here applauding this shit. Like, it's okay that motherfuckers want to come here and duck. And y'all sitting up here, it's like he's a little pet. Yo, Canelo, if you don't want to fight, it's okay. You don't have to. Oh, fuck that, man. Get your punk ass in the ring and fight. That's my attitude. Fuck you scared to fight for. He's not scared, then what the fuck you call it? So imagine me sitting here doing a video telling you guys, okay, imagine Dante's Boxing Nation or 7-8 fucking Sports or Kurt DeVille, Counterpunch Boxing or Sporting Icons. You know, I know he's British or whatever, but still. Imagine him supporting that shit. We sitting up here talking about black Americans should not fight black Americans because blah, 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 this, that, and the third. You wouldn't be like, Aries, what are you talking about? I'd slap myself if I said some dumb shit like that. You know, this is just crazy. So anyway, you heard what Zurdo Ramirez said. You already know my stance on this shit. And don't come in the comment section talking this baby Canelo bullshit and trying to make excuses for him. Now, if it doesn't bother me personally, but I give you guys the news, okay? And I'm not Gordon Soley, so I'm not going to sit here, well, Canelo Alvarez just says that he doesn't want to fight Mexican fighters. No. I'm giving you the news and I'm talking, and I put little emotion into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking, because of what I'm talking about, what I'm thinking. But no, it doesn't bother me personally at all. But overall, as a fight fan, as someone who loves fighting, not fighters, but fighting, I don't respect that. And I wouldn't respect it from nobody. I don't care what the fuck your nationality is. Plain and simple. Anyway, I will catch y'all in the next video.